guys, welcome back. So it is that time again. I have another book haul for you. My birthday was in the month of May, so I have some books that I got for my birthday. I have books that I received from publishers. I've got lots of other books I just picked up because I wanted them, or they were good deals, or they were things that I've been looking for, or for videos. So yeah, let's just dive into this. The first thing I thought I would mention is I've got this video idea. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys think of this. I have a few books on my shelves, including two that I have picked up over the last month that are popular YA books that I'm not sure if I would like. Some people love these books, some people hate these books. Based on the description, I'm not sure where I would fall. So I've been thinking I might put together one of those try a chapter tags where I try out a chapter or two from these books and see if I'm interested enough to keep reading. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. And I'm going to show you the two books from the haul this month that I would probably include in that video. The first one is a copy that I found for $2. It is a used copy of Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. Again, this is one where I know the series is much beloved. There are other people who really don't like it. This is actually the original cover. I know they've changed it, but I found this copy for $2 and went ahead and picked it up. I thought I would give that a try. The other one is one that I found for $1. This is another much loved series. It's The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. And this is another one that I'm like not sure if I would be into it or not. So tell me in the comments down below what you guys think about me doing a video with these, and I would pick some other books to round it out as well. Popular books that I'm not sure would be up my alley, and maybe I will make that. It's like kind of why I picked them up, because they were cheap enough that it seems worth the investment. If I hate them, I can get back at least what I paid for them in selling them, so yeah. Then I was really excited. I found a nicer edition of a book that I've loved for a long time. I found this beautiful paperback copy of The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. I read this years ago and loved it. It is one of my all-time favorite books. I know it's not up everybody's alley, but I really, really liked it. And this is my old kind of beat up big mass market paperback copy, and I've been hoping to get something nicer, and so I found this one for $1 and was very excited. So I picked this up, so now I can get rid of this one and I have a much nicer copy. So that's just a replacement, and again, it was only $1, so I was really, really pleased with that. And then you guys may or may not know this, but I at one point read book 1 in the Mistborn series. I own book 2, The Well of Ascension, but I don't own the other two books. Well, I found the other two books for 50 cents each, so I picked them up. So I found Mistborn and The Hero of Ages for 50 cents each, so I now own the entire trilogy. So at some point, I can now go and actually read them all, which I need to do. I know he's like another much beloved author here. And speaking of those 50-cent mass market paperbacks, I do have a few others to show you because 50 cents, guys, like it's really hard to resist. The first one is The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. I read most of the books in the series a while ago, and I didn't want to like spend a lot on something like this, but for 50 cents, when I'm gonna get to this, I don't know. This may have been like 50 cents not so well spent, but I keep seeing it and it looks fun, and you know, I might be in the mood for it at some point. And then this I was really excited about. I've been toying for a long time with the idea of buying a copy of Ready Player One. I keep putting it off, and now I'm really happy because I found a 50-cent copy. It's a used mass market paperback. It's still in decent condition, like the spine's cracked a little bit, but it's not bad. Yay! I am very pleased. I found it for 50 cents. Now I can read it and then see the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet. And I know it's going to be on Redbox before too long, so I need to get to that. And then we've got some vampire books. I have never read anything by Anne Rice. I feel like I probably should at some point, and I found a copy of Interview with the Vampire for 50 cents. So I got that because I feel like, given my love of sci-fi fantasy, I really should read something by her at some point in my life. And then there's another series that I've been really curious about. I know this was made into a TV show. The TV show was a little bit too explicit for me, but the concept intrigued me, so I picked up a couple of the books. The TV show is called True Blood, which you may have heard of on HBO. The book series, this is book 1, Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris, and this is the show tie-in cover because the rest of them actually look like this. This is book 2, Living Dead in Dallas, which is funny. They don't look at all the same. So I want to give these a try. They were 50 cents each, so I picked up the first 2 in the series. I did also pick up a handful of nonfiction books this month. The first one was another 50-cent paperback. This is the classic slave narratives. This includes The Life of Olaudah Equiano, The History of Mary Prince, Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, and Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. This has an introduction by Henry Louis Gates Jr. You may or may not have heard of him. Reasons. But yeah, I have since, especially this month, since finishing We Were 8 Years in Power by Ta-Nehisi Coates, been really interested in doing more of a deep dive into kind of the history of slavery and civil rights in America and race, and so I saw that for 50 cents and picked it up. Similarly, another book that I've been wanting to have in my collection and found a perfect copy of for $1, it's Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly, and this is the movie edition. I loved this movie, you guys. If you haven't seen it, seriously go do yourself a favor. I mean, hopefully everybody's seen it. This movie's incredible. It's about these 3 women scientists and mathematicians who were a part of the space race, and yeah, so good. So good. So I've been wanting to have this and I saw it for $1. I was like, yes, I am definitely gonna keep that. And then this was another one. I couldn't believe I found this. Perfect condition copy for $2, but it's Yes Please by Aimee Poehler. This is her memoir, and it's on this really cool, like, heavy photo paper. It's got all these, like, pictures through it, and I've heard it's pretty funny. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to picking that up. And then there's a place in our building where people will sometimes leave books that they just don't want anymore, and I found a copy of Beloved by Toni Morrison, which is another one I've heard great things about, and it was free, so I picked that up. Like, if you guys are interested in reading any of this stuff with me, because there's a lot more to go through, let me know. I love doing buddy reads because it gets me to read all the stuff that's on my bookshelf, but this is one that I've been curious about. I've heard mixed things. I know it's kind of a classic. It's not in great condition, but it was free, so I don't really care. This is another series I've been curious about. I found a ARC copy of Suitors and Sabotage by Cindy Anstey. She also wrote Duels and Deception. These are like historical fiction. I've heard good things about them. It was $1, and the cover's so pretty. So I have that. And then I was also really happy because I found a half-price copy of Beneath the Sugared Sky by Shauna Maguire at the Strand. These are normally like $18. This one I got for $7.50, so it's actually less than half price. So I'm really happy. So I now have this. I also have Down Among the Sticks and Bones, which is still on my TBR. At some point I want to buy book 1, so I will have the series. Book 1 I loved. I still need to read the rest of them. But they're beautiful, so $7.50. Such a good deal. Then I've got a couple of middle grade books that I found for cheap that I've been curious about. This is one I've been interested in, Heard Good Things. For $1, I found a copy of Land of Stories, The Wishing Well by Chris Colfer. And this is the first in a series. I've heard people, especially during middle grade March, say that they really liked it. And it's like a portal fantasy with fairy tales, which is totally up my alley. So I grabbed that. It would be fun for the kids too. And then the other one is one that I've never read, but I've heard great things about, and I found it for $2. It's The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. This is really cool too because it's like part text and part illustrations. And I think the movie Hugo was based on this book. I loved the movie, but I've never actually read the book. And look how pretty. It's like beautiful. Oh, look at that. It's so stunning. All right, what should we talk about next? I've got like all the books. Let's talk about the stuff I got from publishers. I have a couple of things that I received from Harlequin, and these are for Instagram promotions. The first one is Campaign Widows by Aimee Agresti. I actually read an e-arc of this the other month and really liked it, and they were sending out copies of these for Instagram photos. So yeah, and look how pretty. The finished copy is beautiful. So yeah, this is a really fun one. I did talk about it in my last wrap up. And the other one is one that I haven't read. This is called Dead Girl Running by Christina Dodd. This sounds really interesting to me. Okay, so it says, I have 3 confessions to make. I've got the scar of a gunshot on my forehead. I don't remember an entire year of my life. My name is Kellen Adams, and that's half a lie. So anyway, it goes on from there, but it just sounds really pretty cool and interesting. So that was sent to me too from Harlequin. Then I have a book that I got from Charlesbridge Teen. It's called Twice Dead, and this is an arc of a book that's coming out. When is this coming out? September? This comes out September 18th. It's about a place where necromancy is illegal and the undead walk among the living, is what it says, which sounds pretty cool. It's like a YA paranormal fantasy type book, so I am looking forward to checking that out. I've read a couple other books published by them and enjoyed them. They're like a smaller publisher. Then I have one that I'm actually in the middle of right now, and this was sent to me by the folks over at the Novl and Penguin Teen. It's called Grace and Fury by Tracy Bangheart. And so far, I'm like, where am I at? I'm at like 122. I'm really liking it. They're saying it's for readers of The Selection and Caravel. I haven't read Caravel, so I don't know, but I can see the similarities to The Selection, although I think this is better. It's really interesting. It's about these two sisters that are quite different from each other, and they are living in a world where women have no rights. It's really good. I don't want to spoil anything else, but it's funny, when I started it, I was like, oh, I see where this is going. And then it went a different way. So it's actually kind of surprising me, and I'm really loving it. It's not that long. It's like 300 pages. Yeah, so it's fun. Thank you guys for sending that one to me. And then this is another arc, although this one wasn't sent to me. I actually got this, like, I went to a bookstore in San Francisco, and it was one of these things where, like, if you bought a book, you could take a book for free, and they had, like, arcs. So this one I picked up. It's by Quirk Books. It's called The Con Artist, and it just looks really fun. This comes out in, when does this come out? July 10th. It's about a comic book artist who goes to San Diego Comic-Con and then has to solve, like, a murder mystery. Yeah, so I will definitely be reading this. This is probably going to be on my TBR for next month, so that one looks fun. Okay, and then this month I read Binti, which I loved, and I found it for pretty cheap, and so I want to collect the rest of the series. I haven't found book 2 yet, but I did find an inexpensive copy of book 3, Binti the Night Masquerade. This is book 3 in the series, and this was $7.50. It's normally like $15, so that was a pretty good deal. So I got that. I may have gotten like more books than usual because I had my birthday this month and yeah, kind of splurged. I also found a half-price copy of a book that I have been wanting to pick up. I've been wanting to read something by her for a while, but I finally got Kindred by Octavia Butler, and this was $8, so it was half price. These ones, it's like hard to find cheap, good quality used copies, so I was pretty happy with it. And you may know what this is about. It's about a modern day woman who is sent back in time to slavery, this black woman. And so I know she is a very, very well-known sci-fi writer who writes about race. And I've been wanting to read her. It's shameful that I haven't read any books by her yet. So I finally have one and I want to read it. So if anyone wants to buddy read this with me, talk to me in the comments below because I do really want to pick this up. And then this I found for like $9, but I picked it up honestly because my friend Leanna over at Leanna's Library raves about it. It's Alias Hook by Lisa Jensen. This is a Peter Pan retelling focused on Captain Hook. I've heard it's really good. She loves it, and I also have an arc of Lisa Jensen's next book, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I will be reading that soon, so this is like a weekday, guys. This is like a day. I probably shouldn't have bought this one, but I did, because, yes. Okay, other things. Oh, right. Another recommendation from Leanna at Leanna's Library, I found Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. This is a new YA fantasy novel. She loved it. She did a whole review of it. I will link it up above if I remember to do so. I don't even really know what it's about, but I know that she said it was really, really good, and I do trust her taste in fantasy. Most of the time it crosses over. There are occasions where we have different tastes, but generally speaking, like it sounded interesting. But yeah, this was another one I found for like $8, I think, and it just came out. So The Strand, guys, I could tell you my tricks. I should do like a whole video on tricks at The Strand for how to get, it's dangerous, but like how to get good books for less money. Okay, I also found a half-price copy of this book I've been hearing about. It's an adult fantasy novel set in East Asia. It's called The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and I don't know if this is this her debut? It is. It's her debut novel, and I don't even really know what it's about, but I heard some people talking about it and saying it was really good, and it looks pretty cool. So again, please somebody say they want to buddy read this with me because I don't want to put it off. I do want to read it, but I feel like it's going to go by the wayside if I don't have someone to read it with me. that would be good. Okay, and then another half-price copy. This is something I've been on the lookout. Like okay, guys, there are some books that I'm like, okay, I know I eventually want to own that, so I'm going to keep an eye out for it, and when I see it, if I see it for cheap, I will pick it up. And this was one of those. I had a few of those this month, which is part of why there's like more pricey books than usual this month. This was one. It's Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, hardcover, beautiful sprayed edges. Yeah, I found this for like $9, which is amazing. Oh gosh, it's so pretty. Anyway, I now just need Six of Crows at some point. I have read Six of Crows, but I want to reread it. I want to own both of them in these editions, but I don't want to pay full price, so I am waiting until I find a cheaper copy of Six of Crows. But I have Crooked Kingdom, which is exciting, which, by the way, this month I read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So good. So good. I'm loving it. Looking forward to finishing that series. And actually, that one I also picked up on Independent Bookstore Day. So I was like, it's Independent Bookstore Day, guys, and I'm posting about it on Instagram, so clearly I have an excuse to buy a few books. So I bought that one. I also bought this one at a different one. I found it for $6, which is a really good deal. Circe by Madeline Miller. And most people seem to be really liking this. She also wrote Heel of Achilles, which I have not read, but I've heard good things about it. This book's so pretty. So it's a retelling of the Greek myth of Circe. It's quite feminist from what I hear, so I'm looking forward to that one. Again, buddy read, anyone? Takers, yes? Let me know. And then the other thing I picked up on that day is one that I am currently reading with my husband. It is Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. We're like barely into this, but so far it's really good. Very interesting. I had heard about it from somebody on BookTube. I can't even remember who. It might have been Joss over at Squibbles Reads talked about this, maybe, I'm not sure. But it's pretty interesting. It's set in the 1950s in America, and it's about a young black man taking a road trip through America, except that it's also a horror novel, so there's like Lovecraftian creatures there. But the twist is that the true horrific things there are not the actual horror novel elements, it's the racists. So far it's really good. We're not very far into it. So we're reading this one aloud. It'll probably take a couple months for us to get through. We like to occasionally read books together, so I'm reading that one with my husband. I also recently went to the launch party for Furyborn by Claire Legrand, which I love so much. Please go read it if you haven't yet. This is so pretty, guys. It's so beautiful. And it's signed, because it's wonderful. I actually have a full review of this to Bethany. May the Queen's light guide you. So good. And look at these bookmarks, guys. They're stunning. Anyway, I like picked up copies for a bunch of friends too. I'm sending them off. They're like, we want signed copies. So sending them to them. Yeah, this book is stunning. It's amazing. It's so good. Definitely going to be one of my top books of the year. And I'm really happy to have a finished copy of it. So I have that. Yeah, I will link my review up above if you want to go check that out. Speaking of books I've been keeping an eye out for because I just wanted them on my shelves. This is one I've already read, but I really wanted to own it, and I finally found a copy of. Okay, so battery died, had to switch it out, and stacked my books up for later. Anyway, Before She Ignites by Jodi Meadows. Loved this book. Read it last year, and I've been wanting to own it, plus the cover is so pretty, and I think I want to go back and reread it at some point. So when I saw it for $9, I was like, yes, I need that in my life. I'm really excited to get book 2. I should pre-order that one, maybe, we'll see. Okay, so I've got a few more kind of $1 to $2 books that I found, and then, oh, right. You guys have probably maybe have seen me talk about this, but I did get my pre-order of A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, and I did a rant review of this, which I will link up above if you want to go check it out. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this yet. We'll see. So there's that. Okay, so I have a few more of the like $1 to $2 books that I found, and then my birthday books. So, although probably because it was my birthday month, I bought more than I normally would. Anyway, well, plus you know what the other thing is I've been selling stuff on eBay, like books, and I'm like, oh, so maybe I can like buy. That's the problem. I'm like only funding buying more books because I'm selling other books. Oh gosh, yeah, it's like hopeless cycle, but okay. So I found a copy of What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard for $2, and I actually got this because Emma from Emma Books loved it and thought it was really good rep for people with eating disorders, which I know she has a history of and that she's like talked about pretty openly. Yeah, so I'm curious, I'm interested, and I saw it for $2. I thought I would go ahead and pick that one up. I also found a couple of ARCs for $1, and these are both books that I've heard good things about and been curious about. One is Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. I don't know a lot about this, but I've heard if you like This Is Us, which I do, you might like it. I think it's about like 3 kids who were adopted and then meet each other as teenagers or adults or something like that. So I have that. And then I've got You Bring the Distant Near by Mitali Perkins. This came out last year and I remember thinking it sounded really interesting. As far as I know, this is about, I think, Indian immigrants to America, teenagers, and deals with stuff. I've heard really good things about it. I don't know much else about the story. Then this one was a new release, and I found it for a copy for $2. It's called And She Was by Jessica Verdi. This one also just intrigued me. It is about a girl who's a teenager and she finds out that her mom is transgender. Intriguing, right? Yes. So $2, I was like, yeah, I'll try that. And then this one is like probably kind of silly, but it should be a kind of fun, quick read. I found Red by Allison Cherry. I had seen this before and thought about buying it, but didn't, but then I found a copy for $1, so I definitely picked it up. It sounds funny. It's about this girl who lives in a town where everybody is a redhead, but like someone has a secret that they're actually dyeing their hair, and that's like horrifying. I don't know, it just sounds kind of like fun and interesting, so I found that for $1. And then another one that I've heard good things about, and I couldn't believe I found this for $1. Another one I've been like, do I want to buy it? Do I not? I don't know. But for $1, yeah, sure. I found A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is book 1 in a new adult fantasy series, and it's like witchy and involves scholarly things and demons and vampires, and yeah, sounds kind of fun. So I got that. And then I was really excited to find this, also for $1. I finally found The Reader, book 1 by Tracy Bangheart. So like several months ago, I got book 2 for $1 and was like, well, eventually maybe I'll find book 1 for cheap. And I finally did, you guys. So now I have Reader and Speaker. So in theory, I could now read the series. So yeah. All right, lastly, I have a few books that I got for my birthday. Sorry, I know this is really long, but you know, my book hauls are always really long and most of you guys seem to like it, except for the couple of dislikes I always get, but you know, whatever. It is what it is, it's YouTube. So one I actually got from my grandma, and I'm quite excited about this because everybody who has read this has loved it, even people who are skeptical. So I have a copy of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this is not something that I probably would go pick up if I hadn't just heard everyone rave about it. It's about this woman, Evelyn Hugo, who's an aging movie star, I think, who's had 7 husbands, and it's about her telling her life story to this reporter, which doesn't sound that interesting, but apparently it's fantastic and it's really pretty. Yeah, so I'm excited to have that if anyone's interested in reading it. So I got this one from my grandmother, which was super sweet of her. She was like, let me get you a book for your birthday, because everyone knows I like books. My mom got me a Sephora gift card, so that helped pay for my Fenty beauty products that I got recently, so yeah. Like makeup and books, y'all know me. And then as an actual birthday present, my husband got me Who Thought This Was a Good Idea and Other Questions You Should Have Answers to When You Work in the White House by Alyssa Mastromonaco. And I've heard good things about this and I'm kind of excited about it that he got it for me. That was super sweet. It's about this woman who was like the personal assistant to Obama in the White House, and apparently it's interesting and funny, and I am very into this kind of thing, so I will definitely be reading that. And then on the day that we went out for my birthday, we went to a bookstore, because what else would I do on my birthday but go to a bookstore? I mean, we did other things too, but we did go to a bookstore, and I got a handful of things. So let me show them to you. One is a book that I've actually read before and kind of wanted to own, and I found a copy for $7, so I have The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. And it's so pretty. It's a hardcover, it's got deckled edges, I know not everybody likes this book, but I loved it. To me, it was like, it felt like childhood in the way that I remember it, the way that I remember thinking as a child in a lot of ways. And yeah, anyway, I don't love all of his books, but this was one I really liked, and I've been wanting to own a copy for myself, so I'm really happy to have that. And then also I had gotten on a waiting list for a half-price copy of this book. You can do that at the Strand, by the way. You can get on a waiting list for half-priced copy when they buy books back from people. So this was only $13. It's a signed copy of Last Shot by Daniel Jose Older. You guys know I love him and his like Shadow Shaper stuff. He's so good. But this is a Han Solo and Lando Calrissian novel, which I am so here for. Also, the cover is super cool. So it's reversible. This is the Han Solo cover. Or if you want, you can turn it over and have a Lando cover. How cool is that, guys? So cool. Am I right? Anyway, I like really wanted to have this. I love the author. I think the cover is cool. I like the characters. And it's a signed edition, which is really nice. So, yeah. Last two books that I picked up for my birthday, and then I will be done with this book haul, guys. This is a series that I've been interested in reading, but I didn't want to pay full price. I found the first two books in the series in paperback for $4 each. The covers are so pretty. They're so pretty. I found The Queen of Blood and The Reluctant Queen by Sarah Beth Durst. Book 3 just came out in hardback. I don't know anything about these other than that they're adult fantasy novels, and they have stunning artwork on the covers, which have been making me want to own them for a long time, but I was like, yeah, but I might not love them, so I probably should get these, but $4, so yeah, I have those. Okay, so there you go. That is all the many books that I bought this month. I've also unhauled a lot of books. I do unhaul regularly, which I've talked about previously. I don't usually film my unhauls. I filmed a small unhaul recently in my book discussion, my discussion video about book buying and book selling, and I will put that up above if I remember to, if you're interested in checking that out. But yeah, I got a lot this month, actually. It was my birthday. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts, what you think I should read first. If you guys want to buddy read any of these with me, let me know, because I am always on the lookout for that. My June TBR is fairly full, but July is not yet, so let me know. I am open to that possibility. Talk to me in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.